Welcome to the Brother Eel Show. Are you ready for your host, Brother Eel? One more time, please. I know I'm being petty, but it was funny. You all know what time it is this evening. We're going to talk a little bit about politics and economy, per the usual. And it's a lot of good stuff out there, relevant information out there. I think I'll start with Trump, obviously, because he announced Elon Musk as his or should I say, he announced his the plan. Uh, so he got a plan, but he got a So Trump announces Elon Musk will head audit of entire federal government. So what he's saying is, I guess he proposed some kind of forensic audit of the federal government, and they got a plan put together, and it's to tighten up. This is how you actually tighten up. You start doing a forensic audit and find out what you have been spending money on. What have we been investing uh, the American taxpayer, U.S. taxpayers' dollars into? We owe them an account because we mandated reporters. They're trustees of the largest bankrupt entity um, in the world. According to um, the events that took place in 1933 with House Joint Resolution, the executive order from Roosevelt suspending the gold standard, and then all of the acts and activities before then and thus after to get us to this point of fiat currency, right? And not just like fiat currency. Hold on, let me make sure my. Hold on, 1 second. Yeah, not just the issue of fiat currency, but like I get what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? You got all this wasteful, what they call wasteful spending. So you got all this wasteful spending. You got you don't even know what's going on with the federal government. You don't know what's going on. You don't know where we at, what we doing, what we into, who we messing over, who we not messing over. It's like when do we get control? So instead of selling out, right? Instead of selling out to the super PACs, um, instead of selling out the country and or no, I don't want. Well, it's a sellout, but like going along to get along. So because so you're not willing um to treat it as if what I'm saying, you don't know them, for example. In other words, it's just like somebody posted earlier about the homeboy, homegirl um situation where we hiring people where elected officials is hiring their friends and family members, and as a result we getting an inefficient government, an ineffective unproductive, um, trespassing, tyrant capacity, de facto representative government, which is really, again, a board of trustees, no matter how you break it down. But, Trump hits on something that, made me do a reaction. It's like, okay, a lot of people don't care to get it, but we get it. We get it. We got the big compromise or the great compromise. It's a great compromise, man. It's a lot of people on the take. And so you wondering why you getting beat up at just about, or I don't want to say beat up. I'm gonna say there's a lot of complaints out there that's generated because of these issues. So, um, relevant issues actually. But again, I'm looking for the president to allow him to kind of speak to these issues. So let me do let me do this. Let me actually find some material, the material, because I was just watching it, so it should be somewhere. I don't know. How do you go to your your history? That's interesting to me. Okay, so let me see. Trump. Boom. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be honest. Trump will look a little tired right here. He look a little tired.
We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
Oh,
to stop this onslaught and lower prices, I'm pledging to.
You got a lot of people in Detroit. I don't want to say a lot of people, but I hear a lot. Okay, so I get it. They believe in that, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm not judging you for that at all. Um, that's interesting. That's what she said. That's her domestic policy. She's going to focus on. That's a defining moment in her administration is to build up the middle class. Classism. But let me see.
Today that in my second term, we will eliminate a minimum of 10 old regulations for every one new regulation. We'll be able to do that quite easily, actually. And instead of attacking industries of the future, we will embrace them, including making America the world capital for crypto and Bitcoin. Fourth, at the suggestion of Elon Musk, who has given me his complete and total endorsement. That's nice. Smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. It's very, very much appreciated. I will create a government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. We need to do it. Can't go on the way we are now. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force. Be interesting. If he has the time, it'll be a good one to do it, but he's agreed to do it. In 2022, fraud and improper payments alone cost taxpayers an estimated hundreds of billions of dollars. As the first order of business, this commission will develop an action plan to totally eliminate fraud and improper payments within 6 months. This will save trillions of dollars, trillions. It's massive. For the same service that you have right now, trillions of dollars is wasted and gone and nobody knows where it went. Further taming inflation and bringing prices way down. The fifth pillar of my plan is to make the Trump tax cuts permanent. They are massive tax cuts, biggest ever, permanent. and to cut taxes even more, and we will have no tax on tips, something which they copied 4 weeks after I said it. She got up.
So that was a lot. That's inspiring. That's inspiring all entrepreneurs and inspiring entrepreneurs to vote for Trump. That's, I mean, not, I wouldn't say all, but that means to me I can get rich without the door's going to be open, the resources is going to be there. It's going to be an entrepreneurial world, and the entrepreneurs are going to have the resources in place to help them grow. The federal government is going to have our back. Why? Because growth for me is growth for the country. The more I expand, the more I hire, the more I improve my technology, the wealthier I get, the more I participate in the economy as an investor. And I invest in people because I hire people, I train people, I give people an opportunity, and I have the federal government support, and that administration that has an entrepreneur mentality, because that's what they know. They're going to set the field for us to be able to eat, for us to be able to grow, to get rich, to make America great again. It's an economic agenda, and that's what matters. Our economic prosperity, peace, and prosperity. And you don't have security if you don't have a strong economy. And so you got people that attacks you to death to fund wars. We're not funding all of these. We're not funding wars. We're funding peace operations. And so that's what he's talking about here. But now if you got people that's attacking a capitalistic system of this constitutional republic, then what do you have? What form of government is that? Is that a communist government? I don't know. But I know the gas prices is high. The groceries is high. The illegal immigration, border crossings is high. I know the stress is high. Depression is high. People working long hours, that's high. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do know there's an issue.
Said no tax on tips. I said, I just said that. She is actually copying a lot of my plan. In fact, we're going to send her a MAGA sometime in the next week. We're having a special one day. But we also know she doesn't mean it. She's going to stick with what her whole life has been about. And also, no tax on Social Security benefits. People in Social Security have been wiped out by inflation, and now on top of it, we tax their benefits. We're not going to tax their benefits. We have so many different ways of making so much money. This country, the potential is so incredible. We don't have to take it away from people on Social Security. We're not going to do that. We're going to save Social Security. She's going to destroy Social Security. Under the Trump administration, we proved that targeted tax cuts do not increase the deficit. They reduce the deficit by growing the economy and raising revenue. After we gave the massive tax cuts, we took in the following year with a much lower rate, billions and billions of dollars more than we did the previous year with a high rate. Think of that. So with a much lower rate, we took in more money because people were incentivized. Corporate tax revenues are 31% higher today than before my tax law was signed. With all of those cuts, 31% higher. To further support the revival of American manufacturing, my plan calls for expanded R&D tax credits, 100% bonus depreciation, expensing for new manufacturing investments, and a reduction in the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15% solely for companies that make their product in America. You have to make your product in America. If you outsource, offshore, or replace American workers, you're not eligible for any of these benefits. In fact, you will pay a very substantial tariff when a product comes in from another country that's made in another country and comes in. There'll be a big tariff on that product because we want to make our goods in America, and most of them we can. My message is simple. Make your product here in America and only in America. We are not going to be taken advantage of anymore, just as we made great inroads and progress 4 years ago. We made tremendous inroads on this subject.
I'm confused to the American worker. Who has the capacity, the vision, the history of standing up for the American worker, the American entrepreneur, the American families than Donald Trump? I mean, did you hear that? Did anybody else hear that? I heard that. That was nice. Listen, that was nice. That was nice. He said, "You ain't you if you attempt to replace an American worker for some, you know, this remind me of something. Look at this. I want to show y'all something real quick. I want to show y'all something real quick. See, that's a principle. That's a principle what he's talking about. Okay, I want to show you guys something real quick. This is important. So we got to understand about principles, family principles, under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So we're gonna break down something. We're gonna break down something. Be patient. We're gonna break down something real quick. We're gonna go to the Holy Koran Circle 7 of the Moorish Science Temple of America, founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the holy and divine Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But look at this universal principle that Trump touches on. And we're gonna find it in 1024. What's this? So this 26, chapter 26, Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. Listen to this. It says, "We are the children of one Father, provided for by his care." Now, I want you to think about this nation. "We are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given ye suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the rural, remember the relations that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood." So, if thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. But this is so important to point out, right? And prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. So President Trump says here, now let's go back to what he said.
Of anymore, just as we made great inroads and progress 4 years ago. We made tremendous inroads on this subject. We're not going to watch our wealth and jobs get ripped away from us and sent to foreign countries, which is what's been happening for many, many decades with us. China was built on doing exactly what we're going to be doing. Progress 4 years ago, we made tremendous inroads on this subject. Our goods in America, and most of them we can, that's made in another country and comes in. There'll be a big tariff on that product. Outsource, offshore, or replace American workers, you're not eligible for companies that make their product in America. You have to make your product in America. If you outsource, offshore, or replace American workers, you're not eligible for any of these benefits. In fact, you will pay a very substantial tariff when a product comes in from another country that's made in another country and comes in. There'll be a big tariff on that product because we want to make our goods in America, and most of them we can. My message is simple. Make your product here in America and only in America. We are not going to be taken advantage of anymore, just as we made great inroads and progress 4 years ago. We made tremendous inroads on this subject. We're not going to watch our wealth and jobs get ripped away from us and sent to foreign countries, which is what's been happening for many, many decades with us. China was built on doing exactly what we're going to be doing and what I started doing 4 years ago.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno.
Okay.
Catch me and my co-host.
So, my bad. Let me get out of there.
Than before my tax.
I don't get it. Like, this guy is out cold when it comes to what he on, President Trump. Matter of fact, let me tap in some more. So he understands that we are one family bearing one free national name under a free national constitution for this free national government, which represent a free national people. Oh, understand me? So you got to do your job as the father of the house. Father means the process of life, and the executive branch is the enforcement of the law, right? The process and procedure, due process, the law, the constitutional law, and Congress enacts the law, and the judicial branch upholds the law. And so President Trump's job is to enforce the law economically, and the purse is issued through the enactment of law. And so when it comes to this economic agenda, because without finances, you can't uplift the nation. And economy make a man rich. So we got to focus on our economy. We got to make America great again. We can't be, you got to understand something. Business is a competition. We got to compete. And in business and economy, we got to compete at the highest level. We got to stay in position. And so we got to recognize that there's competing nations, and their collective activity can be adversely impactful to us. So we, as fathers, we have to support. Say, husband, you must support your wife. And we talking about a contract. So the contract is the Constitution. Once you take that oath and you sign up to serve at the will of the people, you know, it's reflected through the policies. You know, and that policy is also reflective of your thought process and pattern. And let me know how you're thinking. So what he's saying is he's going to leverage this. He's going to leverage the tariffs to ensure that we not only keep jobs at home, domestic, meaning when we say job, we say companies, meaning the employees of the company is going, you know, you heard what he said. If you replacing American citizens, American workers, no, we're going to tax you. We're going to put a sales tax, i.e. a tariff, on them products. It's going to cost to do business because you hurting, right? You hurting Americans. We can't have Americans in communities that's impoverished. Every community in America has a birthright to the wealth of America. It should be thriving. And the fact that it's not is an indicator of some kind of arrangements that's creating an adverse impact to the American families, to the household, to the American individuals, to the American institutions of these constitutional republic, United States. So we got to take action, and we got to look at, number one, we got to do a forensic audit. We need to look at the books. Where's the money going? Why is it going that way? Why are we not hitting our quotas? What's the issue? So then we got to look at these reforms. We got to have reforms. We got to put an infrastructure in place that is constitutional, because these issues arise due to the fact that the system is ran unchecked. There's been no checks and balances. So there's been a great compromise and undermine of our American values, our Constitution. And it's been able to be done because the citizenry is unaware, uneducated. But that's because of the great compromise in the school districts throughout the United States of America. It's not teaching civics, law, order, is being used as a utility to convey unproductive messengery. I mean, not messengery, but messages and imagery. And so it's been neutralized. It does not have the capacity to produce what it claims its abilities are. So we got to look at this thing. We can't continue to pretend that these issues don't exist. Like, you just heard that too. You talk about the unions don't like Trump. Well, look at the message from President Trump. You're going to do business in America. You can build factories here. You can develop here. We can make America great again. So I have to use the power and leverage it to ensure that these businesses are not leaving the country and are not replacing and doing business in the country and not replacing American workers. We're not going to have that. We need our people working. We need our people getting money. That's the law. You understand? Oh. So, thank y'all for joining this evening. We just wanted to point out, kind of react to President Trump's announcement and look at and analyze and observe a little bit of his economic agenda and what he's presented to the people for this election cycle. And I like it. I love it. I don't like everything. It's not with respect to his economic agenda, but I may disagree with some of his foreign policies and with respect to how he would approach certain issues. However, I know with President Trump, we can be able to have a sit down and hash these issues out. Okay, because that's what bosses do. That's what bosses do. They can thrive with other bosses. Listen, thank y'all for visiting us tonight. Make sure y'all go check us out at brotherel.com. That's BROTHEREL.com. Thank you. Peace.